Is it a GMO? Are fruit trees GMO? If I plant an orchard, am I likely to plant GMOs in my own backyard? That's our question for today. Since the age of genetically engineered crops in the 1990s, a certain segment of the population has had moral, ethical, and religious objections to a technology that completely bypasses the sexual process. Sometimes genetic engineering introduces foreign DNA. Sometimes it does not. But at its root, it's a technology that breaks down the genetic barrier between corn, dogs, fish, viruses, and mankind. For those who are wanting to grow fruit for their own family, it's natural to ask, will I inadvertently plant GMOs in my own backyard? Are fruit trees GMO? So how do we actually know which crops have been genetically modified? Where do we find data on this? Well, there's a database where you can find a list of all the genetically modified crops that have been approved worldwide. It's hosted by an organization called ISA, an organization which is actually dedicated to promoting GMOs. This database is very helpful in our search. So, what's the scoop on fruit? If we look into fruit, are fruit genetically modified? If we look at our database and we look at the agriculture business in general, we see that agribusiness giants have focused on commodity crops. They focused on corn, on soy, on canola, on cotton, this type of crop. It's less profitable for them to spend their energies on fruit crops and the like. Now, there are a few fruits that are genetically modified and you'll want to be aware of them, but they are not likely to appear in your typical fruit tree nursery. There are a few tropical fruits, papaya and pineapple. There is a genetically modified pineapple, and there are a few papaya that are genetically modified. And temperate fruits. There are a few apples, and there's a plum that is genetically modified. Now, once again, these fruit are not likely to be found in a nursery setting. You're not likely to buy these if you go shopping for fruit trees, but they do exist. The apples that are genetically modified are called Arctic apples. They are being grown commercially now, and you can purchase the fruit. I would not want to, but you can. And the plum that has been genetically modified is known as honey sweet. It is resistant to plumpox virus, but as of 2015, since plumpox virus has been eradicated in the US, there were no commercial plantings. I will add this caveat. In recent years, there have been some crops to bypass the USDA regulatory system altogether. Some of these crops have used modern methods of genetic engineering, but they have not been required to go through the typical process of regulation. Whether any fruit crops have been included in these crops, I don't know. But at this point, I think we're pretty safe shopping in our typical fruit tree nursery. How long that will last, only God knows. So plant your orchard soon, and I'd love to be part of the journey. Check out my Facebook page, facebook.com/mywildorchard, and subscribe to my email list here.